Hey adventurers! Are you ready to uncover hidden treasures and create unforgettable memories? Today, we're diving into the magical world of gemstone hunting. Glowing star. Whether you're a kid or just young at heart, gemstone hunting is the perfect blend of adventure, discovery, and family fun. Stick around because we'll share expert tips, real-life stories, and everything you need to start your own treasure hunt today. Let's spark your imagination and take you on an adventure you'll never forget. Let's go.
All right, let's jump into this gem hunting deep dive. Looks like someone is ready to get their hands dirty.
That's right. We've got some awesome source material to dig into.
We've got a video you sent from Cabo de Now. Follow these 4 steps to find GEEs.
Look like.
Catchy, right?
Definitely grabs your attention.
Yeah, so we're going to break it all down, go beyond the surface, and, hopefully give you some practical tips and tricks along the way.
And maybe start some ideas for your next gem hunting adventure.
Absolutely. Speaking of tips, the video starts with one that kind of threw me off at first. It says, don't go looking for gems directly.
Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, you think you just go out there, eyes peeled, scanning for sparkle.
Right. You'd think it'd be like a treasure hunt.
Exactly. But the video emphasizes it's more about understanding the geology, the clues. It's like detective work.
Exactly. Gems form under very specific conditions and often leave behind clues. It's like you wouldn't expect to find a pearl without first finding an oyster.
Okay, I like that analogy. So instead of looking for the pearl, we need to figure out where the oysters hang out, geologically speaking.
Right. We need to understand the environment, the rocks, the minerals that signal, hey, gems could be nearby.
And that's where this prospecting thing comes in.
Exactly. Prospecting is systematically looking for these signals, these indicator minerals.
Okay, so the video mentioned mica. I know mica is that shiny, flaky stuff. What's the connection to gem hunting?
Well, mica is more than just pretty flakes. Its presence, especially certain types, can be a strong hint you're in the right geological neighborhood.
Okay, so what kind of mica are we talking about here?
For example, larger mica flakes with a golden or greenish tint.
Interesting. Golden or greenish.
Yeah.
And why is that significant?
Often that can indicate the presence of diamonds.
Whoa, wait, diamonds from mica?
Yep. Think about it. Diamonds need intense heat and pressure to form, often deep within the earth. And mica, it forms under similar conditions.
So it's like they're buddies hanging out in the same extreme environments.
Exactly. So when you find mica with those specific colors, it's like a little sign saying, hey, diamonds might be partying nearby.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so mica's one clue to watch out for. The video also talked about different types of rocks. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. It basically categorizes rocks into 3 main types. You've got your quartz and quartzite.
Oh, like quartz countertops? Those can have gems.
Well, it's not impossible, but less likely. Quartz and quartzite can sometimes contain small crystals or minerals,
Okay.
but they're not generally the prime locations. Then you've got ores. Those are more metallic-looking rocks, often mined for their metal content.
Right.
Not gems themselves, but can tell you about the geology of an area.
Okay, so those two are kind of like background info, setting the scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the third type, this is where it gets exciting, granite and pegmatite.
Granted, I know that. It's like speckled, right?
Right. Light-colored speckle appearance. Made up of different minerals, often including quartz, feldspar, and, you guessed it, mica.
Oh, there's that mica again?
And pegmatite is similar to granite, but with much larger crystals. That's why it's considered a prime spot for gem formation.
So basically, granite and pegmatite are the VIP lounges of the gem world.
That's a great way to put it.
And wait, didn't we talk about mica being a good indicator for diamonds earlier?
We did.
And now we're learning granite and pegmatite, which often contain mica, are good for gem hunting.
You got it. So
Yeah.
finding mica near pegmatite, that's like a double whammy of excitement.
Oh man, my gem hunting senses are tingling.
And it gets even better. The video mentions that if you spot shale near pegmatite, that grayish crumbly rock, chances increase even further.
Wow, so pegmatite, mica, and shale, that's the trifecta.
You got it. Now, before we run off to the mountains with our rock hammers, the video also talked about rivers being potential gem hotspots.
Rivers. Really? Now that sounds intriguing. So rivers, huh?
Yeah.
Gems hiding in plain sight? I mean, I always thought of rivers as more of a place to fish or go for a swim.
Well, think about it. Rivers have this incredible power, carving through mountains. Eroding rock formations,
Uh,
carrying all those little bits downstream.
okay, yeah.
And if those rock formations contain gemstones,
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
the river acts like a natural sorting system,
Okay.
concentrating those heavier, more durable gems in certain areas.
So the gems aren't forming in the river itself,
Right.
but the river's gathering them from upstream
Exactly.
and kind of making them easier for us to find.
Exactly. It's like nature's doing some of the work for us.
I like that. Less digging for us. But how do we know which rocks to pick up? Is it all about the sparkle?
Sparkle can be a clue, for sure, but the video actually emphasizes weight. They call it the heavy stone trick.
Heavy stone trick. Interesting.
Gemstones are generally denser than your average river rock. They pack more mass into the same volume. So if you pick up a rock and it feels surprisingly heavy for its size.
That's when the gem hunting alarm bells go off.
Exactly. Could be a sign you've stumbled upon something special.
Got it. So feeling the weight, watching for the density, are there any specific gemstones that are more likely to be found in riverbeds?
The video specifically mentioned garnets. Remember we talked about them being heavier than quartz?
Yeah.
Well, that means they're more likely to settle in those gem-rich pockets.
Uh-huh.
And finding garnets can actually be a good sign that other heavy gemstones, like diamonds or rubies, might be nearby.
So garnets are like the gateway gem.
You got it.
Okay, so garnets, riverbeds, heavy stones. I'm taking notes. But before we go wading through every river we see, we also got that Gemology for Beginners book, remember?
Right.
I'm really curious to see what kind of insights we can get from that too, especially about like identifying specific gemstones.
Definitely. And maybe even help us choose where to go hunting.
Exactly. So where should we start?
Well, we were talking about aquamarines earlier, right?
Yeah, my personal favorite.
The book actually puts those in the beryl family, which
Yeah.
also includes emeralds.
Wait, so emeralds and aquamarines are related?
It's all in the chemistry. They're essentially beryl crystals. The difference in color is due to trace elements present during their formation.
Wow. So it's like same basic blueprint, but a tiny dash of this or that element.
Yep. Chromium and vanadium give emeralds their green. Iron gives aquamarines their blue.
Fascinating. But back to the aquamarines. Where does the book say we can find them?
It emphasizes pegmatite formations, especially those rich in feldspar and quartz.
Pegmatite. There it is again, the VIP lounge.
Exactly. And feldspar, that keeps coming up too, right?
It's like feldspar is the best friend of gemstones, always hanging out where the good stuff is. So pegmatite, preferably with feldspar and quartz, if we're after aquamarines.
Right, but what if you're not near any mountains or rock formations?
Yeah, that's a good point.
The book mentions alluvial deposits.
Alluvial deposits, what's that?
It's basically areas where rocks and minerals have been transported and deposited by water.
Oh, so like riverbeds?
Riverbeds, stream banks,
Yeah.
even old dry washes.
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
even if there's no pegmatite in sight, we could still find aquamarines and riverbeds, thanks to the power of water transporting those gems. Okay. This might sound silly, but the book mentioned aquamarine crystals can get pretty big, right?
Yeah, they can get quite large.
Like how large are we talking?
The book says several feet in length.
Several feet. Whoa, that's like finding a giant aquamarine crystal. I'm adding that to my bucket list. All right, so aquamarines, check. What about garnets? We talked a lot about them in the context of riverbeds. What does the book have to say?
Oh, it busts a myth about garnets. They're not always red.
Not always red.
Nope, they actually come in a rainbow of colors. Green, orange, yellow, purple, even black.
Whoa, really? I had no idea. So if we're out hunting, how do we know for sure it's a garnet?
The book highlights a few key characteristics. First, their hardness. They rank 7.5 on something called the Mohs scale.
The Mohs scale.
Yeah, it's a way to measure a mineral's resistance to scratching. 1 to 10, 1 being the softest, like talc, 10 being the hardest, which is diamond.
Right. So garnets are pretty tough.
Yeah, they fall somewhere in the middle of the scale.
Okay, so not as hard as a diamond, but they can still take a bit of beating. What else should we look for?
Distinctive crystal shapes. They often form 12-sided crystals, sometimes with rounded edges.
So we're looking for these 12-sided shapes. Got it. But with all those different colors, how do we know if it's a valuable garnet?
Well, the book says color does play a role. Deep, rich colors are more desirable.
Okay.
But clarity matters too. How free the stone is from inclusions or imperfections.
Right. Makes sense. So red garnets, especially.
Yeah, especially a variety called pyrope. Those are often highly sought after.
Pyrope garnets. Got it. The video mentioned them being found in riverbeds, but where else do they form?
The book says they're often found in metamorphic rocks.
Metamorphic rocks.
Rocks that have been transformed by heat and pressure deep within the earth.
So it's like the earth is putting those rocks through a cosmic pressure cooker, squeezing out these beautiful gemstones.
I love that analogy.
And sometimes they can be found in igneous rocks too, right?
Right. Those form from cooled magma.
So deep underground, heart of a volcano, garnets form in some pretty dramatic locations. I'm starting to see why they're so captivating. Okay, we can't talk about gems without talking about diamonds, right? What insights does the book offer on finding those elusive treasures? All right, diamonds. The rock stars of the gem world. Everyone's heard of them, but I bet most people, myself included, don't really know much about them, like how they form, where to even start looking. What's the gemology for beginners take on diamonds?
Well, first off, it reminds us just how tough they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much indestructible, right?
A perfect 10 on the Mohs hardness scale, hardest natural substance known.
Which is why diamond rings are so popular. They symbolize lasting love because they're pretty much indestructible. But where do these indestructible beauties come from? Not just a jewelry store, right?
Get ready for this. They're born deep, deep within the Earth's mantle, under unimaginable pressure and heat.
Deep within the earth, how deep are we talking?
Hundreds of kilometers below the surface.
Wow.
Temperatures reach thousands of degrees Celsius.
It's like a giant underground forge.
Pretty much. Churning out these tiny, perfect crystals.
Okay, but how do they get from those extreme depths to, like, a jewelry store counter?
That's where volcanoes come in.
Volcanoes. Diamonds and volcanoes.
A rare type of volcanic eruption. It brings up a special kind of rock called kimberlite.
Kimberlite.
Think of it like a diamond's elevator ride to the surface.
So kimberlite is like the mother lode of diamonds.
In a way, yeah. Kimberlite pipes, geologists call them. Rare geological formations. The primary source of diamonds.
Okay. But, like, not every kimberlite pipe has diamonds.
Right. And even the ones that do, often of very low concentration.
So it's not like you just find a kimberlite pipe and start filling your pockets.
Sadly, no. It's much more complex. The book stresses that finding diamonds in kimberlite, that requires some serious geological knowledge, specialized equipment, and a whole lot of luck.
So what's a casual gem hunter to do? Are we just out of luck when it comes to diamonds?
Not necessarily. Remember those alluvial deposits?
Yeah, from before.
Diamonds can also be found in riverbeds and stream beds, transported there by erosion over millions of years.
Okay, so even if we're not hanging out near active volcanoes, we might still find a diamond or two in our backyard, so to speak. But how do we even know it's a diamond? I mean, there are lots of rocks in a riverbed.
Diamonds have a few telltale signs.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
First, their brilliance. They have an exceptionally high refractive index.
Refractive what now?
It means they bend light in a unique way. Creates that sparkle they're known for.
Ah, so sparkle factor. Got it. What else?
Adamantine luster.
Yeah.
It's a fancy way of saying they have an intense, almost metallic shine.
So intense sparkle, adamantine luster. Got it. Any quick tests we can do in the field? Just to be sure.
The book cautions against relying on single tests. Some minerals can mimic some diamond properties. Recommends combining observations. Checking for hardness.
Right, because a diamond can scratch anything.
Exactly. Looking at how light passes through the stone. Using a loupe to magnify any inclusions or imperfections.
Sounds like diamond identification is a whole science in itself. Okay, so diamonds. Check. What about sapphires? Those deep blue beauties. What does the book say about those?
Sapphires. Those are captivating.
Yeah.
They're part of the corundum family, like rubies.
Oh, really? So rubies and sapphires are related too?
The difference in color comes down to trace elements.
Trace elements. It's all about the trace elements.
Rubies owe their red to chromium. Sapphires get their blue from iron and titanium.
So rubies and sapphires are like siblings with different fashion senses. One loves red, the other loves blue. But hold on, I thought sapphires were always blue.
That's a common misconception.
Really?
They actually come in a whole range of colors. Pink, yellow, green, orange, even purple.
No way.
Those colorful variations are often called fancy sapphires.
Fancy sapphires. Okay, I love that. But how can we tell if we found one, especially if it's not blue?
Look for the hardness. Sapphires are a 9 on the Mohs scale, second only to diamond.
So almost as tough as a diamond.
Right. They also have a glassy luster, often form 6-sided hexagonal crystals.
Hexagonal. Okay. So hardness, luster, that hexagonal shape, those are our identifiers, and I'm guessing we can find those in both like rock formations and alluvial deposits.
You got it. The book mentions they're often found in metamorphic rocks, similar to garnets, but they can also turn up in igneous rocks and those gem-rich alluvial deposits.
So no matter where we're exploring, there's a chance we might stumble upon a sapphire. You've officially opened my eyes to a whole new world.
That's the beauty of gem hunting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adventure, science, a touch of luck, and this book, Gemology for Beginners, is a great springboard.
It is. We just scratched the surface, but I'm already feeling inspired to learn more. Maybe a book on rare gemstones.
Absolutely.
Or a guide to specific gem hunting locations.
There you go. And don't forget the human element, too.
Oh yeah, the stories.
Gemstones have this rich history, folklore, ancient civilizations. They attributed magical properties to gems. Each gem carries its own unique stories.
So it's not just about the science and the thrill of the hunt. It's about connecting with the history and mystery. This has been incredible.
I agree. And remember, listener, this is just the beginning of your gem hunting adventure. Every rock has a story. Every gemstone holds a glimmer of magic. Keep exploring. Keep learning.
And who knows what treasures you might unearth. Happy hunting, everyone.
Why gemstone hunting is the ultimate childhood adventure. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure into the world of gemstone hunting. We hope you're feeling inspired to start your own treasure hunt and create memories that last a lifetime. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button bell, and share it with your fellow adventurers. Let's spread the joy of discovery together. Don't forget to comment below and tell us about your favorite gemstone hunting experiences or ask us any questions. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy hunting and stay curious. Subscribe now.